Hello there, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome back to the Talos Principle. And we are in the Grand Cathedral right now, doing World C2. Let's go. And immediately we enter an area with a much smaller looking church, which honestly looks a little bit awkward. I'm not really much of a fan of the design of this. Like, where's the front of it? Like, is this supposed to be the main entrance, or is that supposed to be? These look more like side doors. There's just something about this structure here that really bugs me. I'll figure out why eventually. There's only 2 files in this computer, and there are no time capsules in this world, so we're pretty much just gonna be mostly focusing on puzzles, as we normally do. Of course, there was the exception the last time where I had pretty much an entire video dedicated to one Easter egg, because, video lengths are fun. I originally wanted to do that part in just, in just 2 parts as I would normally do. But the problem is, the whole recording session was a little over 30 minutes long. Like, even after cutting a little bit of footage out to gain some progress on that one statue Easter egg, it still wasn't enough, and I had to split the video into 3 parts, and that pretty much explains everything. And if it didn't explain everything, then I don't know what else to tell you, it's just YouTube being YouTube. But hey, shorter videos probably keeps larger attention spans, I'd reckon. And this is where the platform gimmick is introduced. If you pick up the platform, the game will tell you that you can have something carried on it. The thing about the platforms is that if you place like an object on this, like in the regular world, then you cannot pick up the platform. You'll have to pick up the object off of it first. So you might be questioning the point of the platform. And platforms usually correspond with recorders. So there's a door here, there's this gate which we can't pass, and there aren't actually really any solutions to this at all. There aren't any connectors for once, and there are not any jammers. Instead, we have this QR code about dog, and we have this platform right here. This odd little elevated structure, which is obviously a bunch of ruins that once existed in this ancient land. Now, when you're recording, you can correspond with your clone, and your clone can basically carry you around on this platform, and it's not just exclusively limited to you. Your clone can also carry objects like boxes and objects on top of boxes, which is pretty great. This is one of those gimmicks inside the game which is probably the one that involves the most thought, because you really have to route what you're exactly supposed to do with the recorder, and you have to sort of use it to your advantage with the platform in mind. Some of these can really make your head scratch. They can get pretty extremely difficult over enough time. It is one of the best things I've ever seen in this game, though, and I do like the amount of thought process there is behind it, besides, you know, the basic things such as, like, jamming doors with jammers or connecting lasers from point A to point B. I think you get the general idea of that. This one just offers a fresh new challenge. And that concludes this puzzle, the very first introduction to the platform, and we collect our sigil. I don't know why we would connect our sigils. I mean, we could theoretically do that at some point in order to progress with the actual game, but now is not the time. A ditch and a fence. This is a little bit more complex of a puzzle. It involves getting a laser right here. The laser is right over there. And here's basically how you do it. First of all, just place the box right here, so that way your clone can eventually stand on it. Your clone needs just enough height to actually reach the laser, and I think in turn, you do need to have like a copy of the box right on top of the thing. You see, whenever you're in recording mode, yeah, I'm sure you're familiar with this, your clone will stand on the silhouette of the box if you move it, so that's pretty much what we're going to be doing right now. And the reason the ditch exists is so that way we can actually place objects on top of it. So I'm just gonna stand here waiting for a while, let my person in the future, actually, not my clone, my person in the future will place a box right here and a connector right here, and I'm just gonna stroll up and jump on top of this box and, you know, just stand here for a little bit of time. So hopefully if everything went according to plan, then I will be already with another sigil in hand. So we're just gonna place the platform right there, and we're going to help our buddy get through this adventure together. So place it like this, and be in a little bit of a hurry so that way I don't mess this up. And it's pretty much just a process of watching the world go by. As you can see, we were so smart after all to actually complete this puzzle. But we're gonna run out immediately, because there's actually another thing.
You can unlock the elevator now. What, you want a cookie or something? Go on, I hear there's bananas on one of the floors.
I forgot Sam had something to say about us collecting enough sigils to access the elevator. And what is the elevator? Well, that was the thing in the tower a while ago, actually. I'm sure you might have remembered it, and if not, well, spoilers! There's an elevator in the tower! Now, the second part of this puzzle is pretty much just a process of getting yourself to the other side of this fence gate. And here's how we're gonna do it. Pretty much the same steps as actually completing the puzzle, except it doesn't really involve the connector, it just involves the platform, the clone, and the box. And if you're standing on this right now, then just jump over here, you know, wait a bit of time, and if in the future, I'm not jumping over this fence, then I might just jump like 2 or 3 or 4 more times, and then see if I did this correctly. Let's place the platform on my friend from the past. Or I could just jump on him right now, I guess, because that would make a little bit more sense, because the dish is low enough for me to actually reach that area. And if he jumps on the box, there should be a set of footprints down there. And if you sprint your way just around the bend, there's a fan and a star. And that is the puzzle in a shell nut. And we're gonna get that star now, of course. We've gotten it because it was pretty much directly in our path, as I traditionally do. Now, the cemetery. Thankfully, this one just involves hexahedrons and connectors, and it's a pretty simple one to understand. I'm gonna run all the way over here first of all, because we just need to block, I think, like one of these little buzzers. One of these pesky little things that always messes up our connections. And I thought there was a connector back here, but I think I might have actually passed by it. Yes, there is. It's right over here. I'm smart. And hopefully the door will open up just in time. Please hurry. I don't want the laser to be disrupted just yet. I need to grab this thing. Now, in theory, we could try opening the second gate over there, but as you might have guessed, it's another very slow-moving panel that takes quite a lengthy amount of time to actually open, and the buzzer would constantly disrupt it more than anything. So, instead what we're gonna do is probably place this, I'd say, over here-ish. And we're gonna grab the box and stop this thief right in his tracks. Oh wait, no, never mind. Stop this thief right in his tracks. He's a laser thief. And the reason we're doing this is so that way we could actually open this door, which requires a little bit of strict positioning on your part, so that way the laser will actually connect and not, like, collide with any walls. And in here is another hexahedron, and we need both of these to actually block both buzzers over here. And I'm not really sure, like, it's been a while since I've actually done this puzzle, and I didn't really test this out in my test playthrough of the actual world itself, but I've always kind of wondered if it's possible to do this with just, like, one box, because even though the connector is slow, you know, it still takes, like, the same amount of time to open the door, I guess, like that first door and then the other door if you already had the connectors placed, so that way then you wouldn't need to go back for that extra box, but I really don't know. I guess that's something I could test out at one point, but this is the solution to the puzzle. There's a little graveyard and an angel statue right here. And a T-block.